Trump just announced what could signal the start of the biggest bull run yet, and it's time to get ready. In this video, I'll break down the explosive events of the past 24 hours that are set to impact not just crypto, but the entire financial world in a massive way. Let's jump right into the action shaping the crypto market right now. Quick recap, Bitcoin saw a brief dip after some big moves. Don't worry, we'll dive into the chart shortly. But here's the kicker, altcoins are on fire. XRP made a huge breakout earlier today, skyrocketing to around $2.63. This is just the beginning of what could be a game-changing moment for crypto. We're seeing a bit of a pullback right now, hitting that major resistance zone. Don't worry, I'll break it all down in this video. But here's the exciting part. Trading volume for many altcoins is seeing a huge surge. Let's dive into the numbers from the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is sitting at an impressive $54,900,000,000, 0 cents. And check this out, XRP rounds it off with nearly $7,800,000,000, 0 cents. But what really grabs my attention is the 30-day volume. Bitcoin is smashing records with over $1,600,000,000,000, 0 cents, while Ethereum has crossed the $1,000,000,000,000, 0 cents mark. XRP isn't far behind, clocking in $166,000,000,000, 0 cents for the month. The crypto market is buzzing with activity right now, with trading volume surging across the board. Whale activity has hit record highs, not just for older coins, but for Bitcoin as well. The total market cap has skyrocketed to $3,400,000,000,000, 0 cents. And yesterday, things really started to heat up. Since early May, it's been an absolute roller coaster with wild momentum driving the space forward. Bitcoin, leading the charge, has jumped from the low to mid $90,000, 0 cents range to its current position around $103,000, 0 cents. In this video, we're diving into Bitcoin and XRP, but let's pull back the curtain and look at what's really happening beneath the surface. Check this out. The wildest chart in finance. The connection between Bitcoin and the M2 money supply is mind-blowing. Here you can see both the M2 supply and Bitcoin side by side. What's fascinating is how closely Bitcoin's moves have mirrored the M2 supply over time. There are minor dips here and there, but overall the trend is clear. Personally, I'm confident that Bitcoin is on track to hit $150,000, 0 cents. I'm still confident that's the target. In fact, it might even happen by the end of summer, depending on just how wild things get. My main thought here is that we'll likely see a peak somewhere between fall and winter, something we've seen before, like in 2001, 72018, or even late 2021 when the market topped out in November. History doesn't repeat, but it sure rhymes, right? And now let's talk Bitcoin dominance. With Bitcoin making moves, its dominance has been shifting too. It's currently around 62.5% after dipping earlier to 62.24%. This comes after an impressive spike up to about 65%. I'm keeping a close eye on the charts, watching for a big definitive bearish candle to appear. We've seen these minor sell-offs before, haven't we? Take April and May of 2024, for instance, similar price movements to what we're seeing now. Rewind even further to December 2023, leading into January 2024, same story. So is this just another quick dip before a major breakout, or are we witnessing the official kickoff to alt season? If it's the latter, time is running out fast. Volatility will skyrocket and altcoins could see explosive, chaotic swings across the board. Meanwhile, I'm also tracking how the market is reacting to today's headlines. It feels like we're at a tipping point, either gearing up for a massive shift or riding out another temporary wave. Let's dive into the big news. By now, I'm sure most of you have heard about it, but let's take a closer look at the markets. This morning, I was keeping an eye on the stock futures, and wow, what a sight. Thanks to unusual whales, we saw something incredible. Futures are looking super green. The NASDAQ is up 4%, and the S&P 500 is up 3%. Switching over to CNN Business, the stock market opened with a bang. The Dow shot up over 900 points. The S&P climbed 133 plus, and the NASDAQ surged by almost 570 points. This is shaping up to be one of the most exciting stock market openings we've seen in a while. Purely bullish energy. It's exactly what I've been predicting. Stocks were primed to take off. Let me show you why. Let's quickly jump back to the homepage for a moment. Here's the S&P 500 chart I shared earlier. Take a look at this macro 3-week view. It tells the whole story. If we switch to the daily chart, you can see a fresh perspective unfold. We've started to break past key highs, and the chart already shows a confirmed higher high, something we haven't seen since March. That's a major signal for momentum. I mentioned before that this red zone would be a tough wall to break, but today we opened above it, which is an incredibly promising sign. The S&P 500 is shaping up to look really strong right now. We've surged beyond the midline, and if we check out the 3-day chart, the bullish momentum becomes even clearer. The S&P is pushing through significant resistance, hovering just above the red zone. While we still need confirmation, this week will be pivotal for stock watchers. The next big target, all-time highs that could take the S&P above 6,000. If that happens, it could be a game changer, not just for stocks, but also for crypto and gold. Gold has been losing its luster, and I suspect it's not going to reclaim the spotlight anytime soon. Honestly, gold's future looks pretty uneventful, flat and uninspiring, at least until 2026. During this downtime, all eyes are shifting to crypto, and it's no coincidence. Bitcoin's recent surge aligns perfectly with gold's decline in excitement. If you trace it back, around April 21st, gold began to fade into the background, and right then, Bitcoin started to steal the show. Let's take a moment to reflect on the month so far. Flashback to April 21st. Remember this massive bullish candle here? It marked a clear shift as money rotated out of gold and into crypto. Now we're watching Bitcoin climb steadily while gold struggles in a sideways pattern. It's an exciting trend to watch unfold. Yesterday, I posted a video breaking down a key post I shared on X. I highlighted the biggest catalyst ahead, the China trade deal, paired with the Fed rate cut. I predicted these two events would spark a massive rally, and guess what? Yesterday, we got that big deal. Big news just dropped, a major deal between the US and China. As I predicted yesterday, it's official. Get ready for a massive shakeup across stocks and crypto because the bull run is about to take off. So here's the scoop. The US has announced a breakthrough agreement with China, straight out of Geneva. On the 11th, the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, shared an exciting update. We've made substantial progress, he said, highlighting the crucial trade talks between the two nations. A special thanks went out to their Swiss hosts for the incredible support and venue. The progress we've made has been remarkable, sparking a wave of productivity. While full details will be shared tomorrow, I can confirm the talks were highly productive. We had the vice premier, 2 vice ministers, Ambassador Jameson and myself deeply involved. Both Ambassador Jameson and I updated President Trump last night, ensuring he's fully briefed on developments. Expect a comprehensive update in the morning. Now let's dive into one of today's biggest highlights. The United States is slashing tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% to 30% for 90 days, while China is reducing tariffs on US goods from 125% to 10% for the same period. This 90-day tariff truce is a breath of fresh air and a promising step forward. No surprise, this news sent the stock market soaring in a bullish frenzy. And with more exciting updates on the horizon, we'll soon see how this momentum carries us forward. The big story I had my eyes on was the Chinese trade deal. It's a total game changer. And yes, as expected, it sent the markets into a frenzy, just like I anticipated. Not to toot my own horn, but this was something everyone was waiting for. I even mentioned that if we didn't get a deal today, we'd likely see one announced in June, aligning perfectly with the Fed's upcoming rate cut decision. And guess what? I still believe those rate cuts are coming in June, setting the stage for a major market catalyst. Meanwhile, the Bank of England made a surprising move, cutting interest rates by 0.25% to 4.25%. Pointing to Trump's tariff-fueled trade war as a driving factor. This raises the stakes even higher for what the Fed will do next. With all eyes on June, I am doubling down on my belief that we'll see a rate cut. This is only going to ignite markets even further. Why? Because I strongly suspect that starting in June, we'll see the M2 supply surging again. But does this make me think Bitcoin is suddenly heading to $200,000, 0 cents? Not at all. Let's keep it real. I don't see Bitcoin reaching those heights just yet. Instead, I'm focused on $150,000, 0 cents, a fair and realistic target. Anything beyond that feels overly ambitious right now. The key is to take it one step at a time, adapting as the market evolves. While everyone scrambles to throw out flashy price predictions, I'm more interested in reading the room. So far, the market's buzzing with excitement. Just look at the fear and greed index. It's sitting at 73, signaling we're inching closer to overexuberance. And let's talk XRP. It's been on fire Pushing past its 3-day highs from mid-March, XRP is showing all the signs of climbing even higher. The 3-day candle is set to close in about 9 hours, and if we get a solid close above these highs, it'll confirm a higher high on the chart. Exciting times ahead. The next big target we're eyeing is $2.75. Once we hit that, we'll likely see a retest of the breakout level or the trend line, whichever comes first. Either way, it's all part of the process. After smashing through $2.75, the next major milestone will be the cycle highs, sitting up at $3.28. That level is the real prize waiting in the wings. XRP is looking absolutely primed for some explosive price action, and we could see these moves unfold in just the next few days as the market begins to wake up. With Bitcoin dominance dropping and XRP building momentum, the stage is set. And while Bitcoin itself lingers in the red zone, all eyes are on the action ahead for XRP. Bitcoin is definitely in the hot zone right now. We closed right at or just below resistance, hovering around the 14,000 or 0 cents mark. My focus is on the 3-day chart because that's where the real story unfolds. What we're hoping for is a solid close above $106,000, 0 cents on the 3-day this week. If that happens, it could be a total game changer for Bitcoin, opening up some exciting possibilities ahead. Indoor Bitcoin's trajectory is heating up. If it breaks higher, it's a strong signal that $110,000, 0 cents is just the beginning, paving the way for the macro wave 5 to take shape. That's when we start talking about the big targets. $150,000, 0 cents, $170,000, 0 cents, even as bold as $200,000, 0 cents. Ambitious? Sure, but the momentum is undeniable. A China trade deal? Check. That's a major box ticked. Now we sit back and watch as markets gear up for explosive growth. The S&P looks poised for a breakout, stocks are shining, and gold is holding its ground exactly as expected. As for crypto, the price action speaks for itself. Let's be real, no one in the space is complaining right now. You're crazy if you don't see how good things are looking right now. XRP shaping up nicely, but the key here is flipping those December levels right around $2.64 to $0.65. Sure, we've already broken through some highs, but the real win will come when we reclaim those early December levels. That's the milestone to watch. And honestly, XRP isn't the only star here. Bitcoin's looking strong too. Can we see a little hiccup this week? Maybe a slight sell-off? Yeah, it's possible. But let's stay focused on the bigger picture. The trend is clear. We're headed much higher. The upcoming FOMC meeting next month is definitely on my radar. It's going to be a key event to watch. I'll be back from my trip just in time, so stay tuned for updates. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more free content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.